Hello, and welcome back to Peanut. My name is Mr. Austin, and today is lesson number 4 from the Healthy Schools, Healthy Communities from the Michigan Fitness Foundation. And today we are talking about something that we all love. We're talking about snacks. So I'm sure you like snacks. I know I like snacks. I'm sure you eat snacks all the time. I eat snacks all the time. So today's lesson is all about snacks, and we're going to call it Super Snacks for Me, just like this. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the pictures that you can see right here on the screen. So today we're talking about healthy snacks that we can eat. And right here you can see some examples, some pictures of some different healthy snacks that you can eat. So let's talk about all of them. I'm going to make this small again so you can see me, and I'm going to point at each one. So take a guess. Let's see if you can see my finger. There we go. What is that? What do you think that snack is right there? That's a smoothie. Maybe you've had a smoothie before, but that's a smoothie. And you can see there's some blueberries right on top. So that's a blueberry smoothie right there. All right, this one's not too tricky. What's that right there? What kind of snack is that? That's a fruit. It's an orange. So an orange is a good snack. Let's go to this one. This has got a few things in it right here. So what is that right there? What does that look like? You take a guess before I tell you. That looks like some different vegetables. So I see some carrots on the top. I see some peppers, or that's what those red things are right there. And I see some celery. That's what the green is. And it looks like there's some hummus to dip it in. I love hummus. So hummus tastes really good when you dip different vegetables in it. So that's another snack. And then the last one is probably something you know too. What's that right there in that purple picture? That is some popcorn. And popcorn can be a healthy snack too. So those are all of the different snacks that we can eat that are healthy. Because snacks help us stay full. Because when we eat breakfast, sometimes in between breakfast and lunch, we get a little hungry, so we want a snack. Lots of the times between lunch and between dinner time, we get a little hungry, so that's when it's a good time to eat a snack. And even sometimes after dinner, you might be a little bit hungry before you go to bed, so you can have a snack then too. But I want you to try and eat some healthy snacks, and these are some good examples right here. So the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to make this nice and big, is we're going to do a little activity, a little game. And it's talking about all these healthy snacks, because healthy snacks help you to grow, they help you be strong and stay healthy, just like some of the healthy foods we talked about before. So right now what we're going to do is I'm going to say some different snacks, and I want you to quickly raise both your hands up if you like the snack. I want you to do it fast too, because it's kind of silly. So when I say a snack, I'm going to read some off. And if you like that snack, I want you to raise your hands up really quick and then put them back down. So let's see. Let me get up close so I can see my list. I'm going to read them and let's see what you think. All right, so the first snack is a cheese stick, or string cheese you might call it. So raise your hands up if you like string cheese and then put them back down. I love string cheese. That's a good one. All right, next one, grapes. So hands up if you like grapes. If they're not your favorite, you can just keep your hands down. Grapes is our next snack. All right, the next one, crackers. Raise your hands up if you love crackers or if you like that snack. Next one is pretzels. I love pretzels. I'm going to put my hands up. Pretzels are another good snack that you can have. Super easy to eat too. You can put them in a bag and you can take them wherever you go. All right, next one is an apple. An apple's a fruit, so raise your hands up if you like apples. That's a good one too. Next one, carrots. So raise your hands up if you like carrots. Maybe you like to dip the carrots in something, so I want you to raise up your hands with that too. Maybe you like them plain, or maybe you like to dip them in something. All right, next one, yogurt. Raise your hands up in the air really quick if you like yogurt. Yogurt's a good one too. You can mix all kinds of different things in yogurt. Next one is nuts. So any kind of nuts. If you like to eat nuts as a snack, raise your hands up in the air. I like to eat nuts. That's a good one too. Those help build your muscles. Those have lots of protein in it for your muscles. All right, let's do two more. Next one is an easy one, because I bet you a lot of you like this one. Raise your hands up in the air if you like a sandwich. Hands up in the air. Sandwiches are good for a snack because you can make them super quick. Sometimes you have them for lunch or maybe for dinner. But sandwiches are a good one to have for a snack too, as long as it's not too big, because you can put whatever you like on there and then it's a good snack. All right, last one is celery, a vegetable. So raise your hands up if you like celery. Maybe you like to dip that ranch. Celery is a good one to dip in ranch, or you can dip that one in hummus too. So those are all some good snacks. Okay, so next, one of my favorite books that we read at Peanut. I'm going to make it nice and big. This book is called I Will Never, Not Ever Eat a Tomato, and it has 2 characters in it, and their names are Charlie, who's right there. You can see right here, this is Charlie right there. And then his little sister's name is Lola, and she's right there. So we are going to read this story called I Will Never, Not Ever Eat a Tomato. So before we start reading it, I want you to think, what do you think this story is going to be about? If it's called I Will Never, Not Ever Eat a Tomato, what do you think it's about? And to give you a little hint, let's look at that picture. You can see Charlie right there. It looks like he's holding a bowl of something red and round that might be tomatoes, because that's what tomatoes look like. And then you can see Lola, and she's got her arms crossed. She looks kind of angry. So what do you think the story might be about? And before we start, I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. We're going to talk about Lola because Lola is what we call a fussy eater. So what do you think it means to be a fussy eater? Or maybe you've heard picky eater before. So what does it mean to be a picky eater? Think in your head, or you can say it out loud. I'm going to tell you in 1 minute. But what does it mean? If you're a picky eater, what do you think that means? Being a picky eater means you don't like a lot of foods, or you don't eat certain foods. So maybe you only eat 1 or 2 foods, and then any other foods, if it's something you've never eaten before, or something you've never seen, or if you smell it and you don't really like the smell of it, you won't try it. So that means that someone's a picky eater. If they only eat like a couple foods, then they won't try any new ones. And I'll give you a little hint, and you can kind of tell by looking at that picture that Lola's a little bit of a picky eater. So we're going to read about Lola, and we're going to see what happens in this story about her being a picky eater. So let me make this nice and big again so you can see. And let's get started. All right, first page says, I have this little sister, Lola. She is small and very funny. Sometimes I have to keep an eye on her. Sometimes Mom and Dad ask me to give Lola her dinner. This is difficult because she is a very fussy eater. And now you know what fussy means. So she's a very picky eater. And let's see what he means by a picky eater, even though I kind of told you. Let's see. Lola won't eat carrots, of course. She says carrots are for rabbits. I say, well, what about peas? Lola says peas are too small and too green. One day I played a good trick on her. So let's see what trick Charlie's going to play. Lola was sitting at the table waiting for her dinner, and she said, I do not eat peas or carrots or potatoes or mushrooms or spaghetti or eggs or sausages. I do not eat cauliflower or cabbage or baked beans or bananas or oranges. And I am not fond of apples or rice or cheese or fish sticks. And I absolutely will never, not ever, eat a tomato. My sister hates tomatoes. So I'm going to make this small for a minute. We just read that page, right? She doesn't eat any of those foods. Look how picky of an eater she is. All those foods. You can see her face. She's angry. She's sitting with her arms crossed. She won't try any of those foods or even eat them. So those are all the foods that she won't eat, especially the tomato. But remember, Charlie just said he's going to play a trick on her. So let's make this big again and let's see what trick he's going to play. And I said, that is lucky, because we are not having any of those things. We are not going to eat any peas, or carrots, or potatoes, or mushrooms, or spaghetti, or eggs, or sausages. There will be no cauliflower, or cabbage, or baked beans, or bananas, or oranges. We don't have any apples, or rice, or cheese, or fish sticks, and certainly no tomatoes. Lola looked at the table. Then why are those carrots there, Charlie? I don't ever eat carrots. And I said, oh, you think these are carrots? These are not carrots. These are orange twiglets from Jupiter. They look just like carrots to me, said Lola. But how can they be carrots? I said. Carrots don't grow on Jupiter. That's true, said Lola. Well, I might just try one if they're all the way from Jupiter. Not bad, she said, and took another bite. So, Charlie just told Lola that those carrots are not actually carrots. He told her that they're twiglets from Jupiter, and she took a bite, and she was like, they're not bad. So maybe you're starting to think what kind of trick he's playing, but let's go to the next page. Then Lola saw some peas. I don't eat peas, said Lola. I said, these are not peas. Of course they are not. These are green drops from Greenland. They are made out of green and fall from the sky. But I don't eat green things, Lola said. Oh, goody, I said. I'll have your share. Green drops are so incredibly rare. Well, maybe I'll nibble just one or two. Oh, said Lola, quite tasty. So they're not peas, according to Charlie. They're green droplets from Greenland. And Lola gave them a try, and she liked them. So let's see what the next little trick is. I think you might be catching on to what Charlie's doing. Next, Lola saw the potato. I will not eat potatoes, so don't even try. Not even mashed. And you can see there's that big old potato right on the table. Let's see what happens. Oh, this isn't mashed potato. People often think that, but nope. This is cloud fluff from the pointiest peak of Mount Fuji. Oh, said Lola. In that case, a large helping for me. I love to eat cloud. So Charlie told her that those mashed potatoes aren't really mashed potatoes. He said they're clouds from the top of the pointiest peak of Mount Fuji. So that's just a big tall mountain. So he told Lola that there's some clouds from up on top of a mountain. And she took a bite and she liked them. I think you might know how he's tricking her, but don't tell me yet. Let's read on and see. I think he's going to trick her a couple more times. Charlie, she said, those look like fish sticks to me. And I would never eat a fish stick. I know that. These are not fish sticks. These are ocean nibbles from the supermarket under the sea. Mermaids eat them all the time. Oh, I went to that supermarket one time with Mom. Yeah, I know the ones. I think I've had them before, Lola said, gobbling. Are there any more? Alright, let's see. And then she said, Charlie, will you pass me one of those? And I said, what? One of those? So what do you think it's going to be? Before I change the page, what do you think Lola wants Charlie to pass her to try? What do you think? I'm not going to say it. I want you to think. Say it to the screen, and we're going to flip it to the next page right now. What do you think Charlie, or what do you think Lola wants Charlie to pass her? And Lola said, yes, Charlie, one of those. And I couldn't believe my eyes because guess what she was pointing at? The tomatoes. And I said, are you sure? Really? One of these? And she said, yes, of course. Moon squirters are my favorite. You didn't think they were tomatoes, did you, Charlie? So what just happened right there? What do you think? Before I tell you, first, before we talk about what happened at the end, how was Charlie tricking Lola? He said he was going to play a good trick on her. And how was he tricking her? Who thinks they know? Think in your head for a minute before I say it. Some of you might already know. He was tricking her because he was telling her that some of the foods that she said she would never eat. She said she would never eat carrots, never eat peas, never eat potatoes, never eat beans, never eat bananas, never eat spaghetti, all that stuff. She said she would never eat it. Doesn't want it. But when Charlie told a story and said it was from somewhere else, like when he said that the carrots were not really carrots, he said they were from Jupiter. Or when he said the mashed potatoes weren't really mashed potatoes, he said they were clouds from up on the top of a mountain. What did she do? She at least tried it. She took a little bite, and once she tried these foods that she's never tried before, she liked them. So that's how he was tricking her. He was telling her all these fancy stories to try and get her to at least take a bite, right? To at least try some of these foods she's never tried. And it turns out when she actually took a bite and tried those foods, she liked it. And what happened there at the end? So that was the last example. What happened there? That part was a little bit confusing, but what happened? Let's go back. So she wanted to try a tomato. And then she told Charlie, she said, of course, moon squirters are my favorite. So at the end, what happened? Lola played a trick on Charlie, right? She told him that instead of those being tomatoes, she said that they were moon squirters from the moon. So at the end, she figured out that, you know what, Charlie's tricking me. And then she tricked him back and said those tomatoes were from the moon. And that's why right at the end, I'll make it big one more time. She said, you didn't think they were tomatoes, did you, Charlie? So she tricked him right back. And you can see written on the plates and on the bowls, it has the names of all what he called all those different foods. So instead of fish sticks, it says ocean nibbles. Instead of mashed potatoes, it says cloud fluff. Instead of peas, it says green drops. Carrots, it says orange twiglets. And tomatoes, it says moon squirters. So what I wanted you to learn from this story is that even though you might be nervous, maybe it's a food you've never tried before, or maybe you don't like the way it looks, you never know until you try. So I want you to try new foods, especially new healthy foods, right? At Peanut, we always want you to try new healthy foods because you never know if you like it or not. You might never take a bite and it might be one of your new favorite foods, but if you don't at least take a bite and try, you'll never know. So at least give it, at Peanut, we call it a no thank you bite. At least give it one little bite and see if you like it, because you never know if it could be one of the foods that you really like. All right, the next activity, I'm going to make this big so you can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go over those two things, but we're going to talk about the ones in the book. And usually I show you the pictures, but since it's hard for me to show the pictures on here, I'm just going to say some of the foods from the book. And here's what I want you to do. See the green words, it says, have you tried? And then it says hands up. So if you've tried one of the foods before from the book that I'm going to say, I want you to put your hands up. Just like we did before. So if you've tried one of the foods, put your hands up. But then for this part, what it says in the purple letters, it says, do you like? And then it says jump up. So if you've tried one of the foods before, I want you to put your hands up. And then it says, do you like? So if you like one of the foods, I want you to put your hands up, and then I want you to jump up out of your chair and then sit back down really quick. So I'm going to do that. I'll do it for a couple of them just to show you, but then I'm going to read some of the foods. So let's see. What's some of the foods that Lola tried? She tried carrots. So put your hands up if you've tried carrots before, and if you like carrots, jump up. I've tried them and I liked them, so I put my hands up and I jumped up. All right, the next one, what else did she eat? She tried some peas that were the green drops from the sky. So if you've tried peas, hands up. If you like them, jump up. That's the next one. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's do the potatoes, the mashed potatoes that her brother told her was cloud fluff. So put your hands up if you've tried mashed potatoes or any kind of potatoes before, and jump up if you like potatoes. All right, couple more. What else did she eat? Fish sticks. She had fish sticks, which her brother told her were from under the ocean at the supermarket under the sea. So if you've had fish sticks before, hands up. And if you like fish sticks, jump up in the air and then sit back down. And then last one was the big one in the story, tomatoes. If you've had a tomato before, if you've had tomatoes before, put your hands up. And if you like tomatoes, jump up. And there's a couple different ways we can eat tomatoes. So think about that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So what are some different ways that you might like to eat tomatoes? What might you have tomatoes on? think about some of the foods you eat. I can think of some popular ones that you probably eat that you might not even know are tomatoes. So you can have tomatoes on a salad. A lot of people cut up tomatoes on a salad and they put them on top of a salad. You can have tomatoes on a sandwich. Maybe you like a tomato on top of your sandwich if you have like a turkey sandwich or a chicken sandwich. You can eat tomatoes all by themselves. You can just have tomatoes just all by themselves. There's little tiny tomatoes that you can just eat, or you can dip them in some ranch or in some hummus. Tomatoes, a popular one that I hope some of you thought of if you like pizza. Usually the sauce that's on your pizza is made out of tomatoes. So if you like the sauce on pizza, that's tomatoes. So you probably like that. Other sauce is like sauce on spaghetti. If you like spaghetti sauce on stuff like that, that's tomatoes too. So you might like that. You can also put tomatoes on tacos if you like different tacos or burritos. Some people put tomatoes in there. If you like salsa, salsa has a lot of tomatoes in them too a lot of the times. So you've probably had tomatoes before. So even though Lola said she would never eat tomatoes, she might have even tried it before and she didn't even know either. So there's all kinds of ways we can eat tomatoes. All right, the next thing is our Fitbit, our little game we're going to play. And this Fitbit is called Simon Says. And you might have played Simon Says before, but this is going to be a little bit different. And here's how it's going to work. We're going to do it together. We're going to start doing a move. So for example, I might tell you, we'll do an easy one at first. I'll tell you all to walk in place. So you're going to start walking. You're going to make sure nobody's around so you're not going to bump into anybody. And you're going to start walking. And I'm going to say some different foods. And if it's a healthy food or a healthy snack, I want you to keep doing the move. So I want you to keep moving, keep moving. If I say a snack that's maybe not so healthy, so maybe if I say something like cookies, I like cookies, but they're not so healthy. If I say something like ice cream, if I say something like candy, if I say something like pop, any of those things that might not be so healthy, I want you to freeze in place until I say another food. And then if I say a healthy snack, like some of the ones we talked about, I want you to start moving around again. And we're going to switch the move a couple times. So that's how our game's going to work, just like normal Simon Says. So let me put this down so that you can see me. Now I'm going to stand up. Before we start, I want you to look around and make sure you're not going to bump into anything or anybody. Make sure if we move our arms or our feet, you're not going to kick anything and get hurt. So just do a little check, do a little spin. All right, first one, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to march in place, or we're going to walk in place. So we'll do an easy one. So start walking, and remember, don't stop unless I say an unhealthy snack. So Simon Says apples. Apples can be a healthy snack. That's one of our fruits, so keep moving. Simon Says peas. Peas are a healthy snack. That was one of the ones that Lola tried, so you should keep walking, keep walking. Simon Says cookies. Freeze. Cookies are not the healthiest snack, so you should freeze for this one. All right, the next move we're going to do, now we're going to change it. We're going to do one a little bit quicker. We're going to do some jumping jacks. So I want you to do some jumping jacks, just like this, if I say a healthy snack. So let's see. Simon Says crackers. Crackers can be a healthy snack. So start doing some jumping jacks. Simon Says cake. Freeze. Cake isn't a healthy snack, so you should have froze for that one. All right, let's do a different move. Next one we're going to do is we're going to do some arm circles. We're going to stretch our arms. So I want you to do big ones. So I got to move so I don't bump into anything. So I want you to do big arm circles just like this. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can trick you on this one. Simon Says grapes. Grapes are fruit, so that's a healthy snack that we can eat. I have grapes for a snack all the time, so do some big arm circles. Simon Says yogurt. Yogurt's a healthy snack. I have that in the morning for breakfast sometimes. So do those big arm circles. My arms are getting a little tired, so Simon Says chips. Freeze. Chips aren't a healthy snack. I like chips, but they're not a healthy one, so you should freeze. All right, let's do one more. Let's see here. What's a move we can do? Let's do, Ooh, I know what we can do. We call these torso twists. So watch me. You're going to turn side to side, just like this. Don't do it too fast, or you're going to hurt your back. But just kind of turn like this. Simon says brownies. Oh, you shouldn't have moved. Should have stayed frozen because that's an unhealthy snack. That's not a healthy one. All right, let's see. Simon says string cheese. We talked about that one. That's a healthy snack. Simon says nuts. Nuts are a healthy snack. That was one of the ones that I talked about at the beginning. So keep moving. Keep moving. Simon says ice cream. Freeze. Ice cream isn't a healthy snack. It's tasty, but it's not a healthy snack. All right. Come and sit back down. That's one of my favorite games. I like that one. That one's fun when I can see you, because then I can kind of trick you. I know it's kind of hard to do on the computer, but that's a fun one. I like that game. All right, the last thing we're going to do today is talk about tomatoes real quick and how you can eat them at home. So these are tomatoes right here on your screen. And you can see there's some different kinds. There's some tomatoes on that pizza over there, so that's what tomato sauce looks like. Those are what big real tomatoes look like right there in the middle. And then all the way over on the side is tomato juice. So you can even drink tomato juice, and some people really like it. Or you can have juices that has some tomato juice in it, and it tastes good too. So tomatoes are a delicious, juicy vegetable, and it has lots of vitamins, vitamin C and vitamin A. And you can have them, like we talked about before, you can have them plain. So you can just have them all by themselves, and you can dip them in something. You can turn them into a sauce, just like on that pizza right there. So you can turn it into some tomato sauce and put it on pizza or put it on your spaghetti. Or you can you can cut them up and you can put them on a salad. You can put them on top of your pizza if you want. Or you can put them in your tacos. So there's all kinds of ways to have tomatoes. So next time you see a tomato, maybe at school in your school lunch, or maybe at home with something you get, or maybe at a restaurant, I want you to try it. Even if you've never had one before, you're like, oh, that's a tomato, and you've never had it that way. I want you to give it a try and see what you think. Make sure you wash your hands before you eat it. That's one of the most important things we can do. So you need to wash your hands before you eat it as a snack. But next time you see a tomato, I want you to give it a try. All right, one more thing before we're all done. Let me make this nice and big. We're going to talk about your healthy homework. So the homework I want you to do is super, super easy. I want you to have a healthy snack. So before I see you next time, so the next time we see each other on a video, I want you to eat a healthy snack. Maybe you already eat one all the time, or maybe you don't. That's okay either way, but I want you to find a healthy snack that you would like to eat. And I want you to eat it, because next time I'm going to ask you what it was that you ate, and maybe you can kind of tell me which snack it was. So have a healthy snack at home and try it and see what you think. All right. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.